Hello, my name is Diego Romero, and I am doing a runner's motivation. Okay, so these are just some photos for you to, get your mind thinking. These are just pictures of people who may be doing things that they're passionate about. And as you're thinking of that, you might think, wow, they got motivation. Wow, I wish I could do that. And wow, why would anyone do rowing? Everyone on that boat looks like they're going to throw up. Well, essentially, that's what motivation is for activities is what I'll be talking about today. So here's a story. SpongeBob wants to go for a run, but starts running a little too hard, and he poops out after 3 or 4 days of running. And so in this situation, what can Bob do? What can he? The most generic answer would be just to slow down. But exactly why, in this particular context of running, what's the philosophical or scientific reason for this? And here's what I have come up with. Relaxing and take it easy. For runners in particular, the limit in which we tend to forget the most is called the ventilation threshold. And that's the point in which your body begins feeling discomfort, and that's due to many reasons. That's due particularly to the fact that your body hasn't exactly been trained to, feel comfortable at that point. So essentially is that if you're below your threshold, like just like as if you were eating a chili pepper, if you're eating something that isn't too spicy to you, you won't feel too much discomfort. You won't really be fazed by it. And this is the point, for runners, we can listen to music and, really we don't, we're feeling good. But once you go a little bit above it, then you start feeling the mild comfort. This is the point in which you want to be. Not, and this is also, it works for, if you want to get better at studying or eating or running or most things. There will be some mild discomfort. But once you go much above your threshold, or for runners ventilation threshold, there is a lot of discomfort. It's actually estimated that this point of, I believe this is called the second threshold, you can't hold this threshold for more than 45 to 2 hours, because that point your body is at a certain point of stress. And kind of the philosophical, kind of reasoning behind this, is, you don't want to start off eating spice with eating a ghost pepper. If you were to eat a ghost pepper once or three times, well, once every for your first few 3 or 4 days of eating spice, you're probably not going to want to. You're not going to want to eat spice. You're not going to want to continue, and that goes for running too. If you go way past, not only is like you may be doing gaining skill. However, being consistent is one of the major aspects of running. If you're consistent, then you'll be able to produce results day in and day out, and that's yeah. Okay, so just some other examples, not just running. These are my personal examples. Is there's limits, and for me, art can have a limit in which your creativity may be limited, or also, for others, might be skills. Developing skills take time, and it's good not to rush yourself. And studying, that has a limit too. How much you can study like in within a day. At a certain point, you're going to need a break, and that's a limit for studying, and it's best to know that so you can succeed in the long run. And for video games, it's completely different. You have infinite. You can probably play games for like hours on end, but that's for me. Okay, this is another story. SpongeBob, he has learned his limits, and he is now, he's doing well, he's running. but he sees this long road ahead of him. He's thinking, you know, I want to run that far. This is my motivation. And maybe some people, other people may not want to go that far. Maybe he's fine where he is. So he's thinking, what is my source of motivation? And this is different for everyone. And it's really the determiner of where you want to be. For Gary Robbins, he loves the nature and feeling of extreme exercising. To complete the Barkley Marathon and the most difficult, which is the most difficult ultra marathon in the world, consisting of 100 miles of running for 2 days straight. And he's made running his livelihood. For him, he's at the point of he's in the point where he wants. His motivation has brought him to this point of competing with like these elite athletes, and he's going on these 100-mile runs for 2 days straight. For Alexandra, her motivation, it's a little different. She started because of the pressures of motherhood. She had had her second baby, I believe, and found running to be a nice escape from a busy life, being a mom, and now has developed a passion for the sport. She enjoys running and has actually gone to many marathons and running events. And you see these two, these Gary Robbins and Alexandra, they are what they want. They are at the point where they want. And this is kind of interesting because Christina has a very contradictory story. She doesn't really find running or running at all enjoyable, but she does see the physical and mental benefits worth the strenuous exercise. Unlike Alexandra and Gary Robbins, she actually doesn't go to any competitive events, but that's where she wants to be. She does enjoy the mental and the physical benefits. However, that doesn't mean she would want to push herself farther than that. So, depending on where you want to be, you want to develop your own motivation on to where where your goals lie. So it's food for thought. And that's it. Just that was my presentation about limits and motivation.